2017 is underway. Clare won the toss and decided to play against the breeze in the opening half. So playing from right to left as we look at it. And coming forward is the Cork captain, Stephen McDonald, dropping it into the Cork full forward line. Then Rovers man to Douglas man. Stephen McDonald to Alan Cadigan. And the Cork men are up and running in Semple Stadium.
Yeah, Cork are utilising that pace they have inside again. Cadigan made the run, gave the little point, found himself in acres of space, and he's a man completely on form, as you saw in his last two championship matches. He'll pick them off all day.
Taking the puck out is Andrew Fahey.
This is going to be an interesting aspect to the game today, Marty. Who can win that initial possession, get into the full forward line, and Clare going long early on?
A magnificent, truly magnificent, almost emotional atmosphere around Semple Stadium. Place has been packed since early morning. Here comes David Fitzgerald. Heineken Lamona man driving this to the right and wide. First opportunity taken by Cork, first opportunity by Clare. Moody, Farris, centre half forward, Podge Collins trying to get inside the cover. Good work by Christopher Joyce, but Joyce fouls and it's a free end for Clare. Hurler of the Year and Young Hurler of the Year, now 4 years ago. Lifts and strikes this easily over the crossbar. Took almost 45 seconds to score. Some wonderful fielding already seen here in Semple Stadium. Can Cork go for the short puck out? Long ball. And away goes Seamus Harnedy. Seamus Harnedy on the turn. Sends that over the bar. Well, we thought initially that this might be a very tight, defence-orientated game, but so far it's been free-flowing.
It has, you know. I think Cork would have known that Clare were going to retreat back. Again, Harnedy made that diagonal run, and whether it's coming from Anthony Nash and one of his full back line, it's still the same old angle ball going in that sets up the Cork forwards.
Clare puck out, dropping just outside the Cork 45-metre line. Knocked down Farris, Cathal Malone. Malone driving it in. Good ball, and Anthony Nash decides to use the hurling. Flicks it, stops it out over the crossbar. Podge Collins was continuing on in Nash, but they get on with it, the two of them. Breaking ball becomes available. Coming across is Alan Cadigan again. Good work on this occasion by Oisin O'Brien, trying to gather it up. Clare are there in numbers, including Patrick O'Connor, the captain, trying to pick the ball off the ground, or at least trying to get into his hand was Carl Malone. As Clare used the diagonal ball over towards Shane O'Donnell. Shane trying his best to keep it in, just succeeds with a nice touch of the ash. Down far Stephen McDonald, under pressure from O'Donnell ultimately, but still doesn't stop him from giving the pass away. Coming away with it is Colin Spillane. Spillane dropping it in. Alan Cadigan with Oisin O'Brien. This is going to be an interesting tussle. This occasion, Oisin O'Brien escorts the ball out over the end line and wide.
No, Marty, it's a bit of a dangerous game. Oisin O'Brien has good legs, all right, but he was isolated inside of Alan Cadigan. You see the two of them wrestling. The ball was too far outside, but I think Don Logue down the line be a small bit anxious to have 50-60 yards of space around someone like Alan Cadigan.
Chasing after him is Colin Spillane. McGrath takes two to try and stop him. Crossfield ball is a good one, but it carries a little bit too much pace. Carl Malone did well to control it. Comes in with a hefty challenge. There was Damien Callahan. Comes back outside for Shane O'Morey, and the 6 mile bridge man raises Clare's second white flag in this match. Corner back gets the second score, and wing forward gets the first.
Yeah, he did it against Limerick. Shane O'Morey, you know, he's very dangerous. Normally cornerbacks wouldn't have that kind of skill set, but he has in spades. Cathal Malone set him up very well.
Sides level for the second time. Again, it's the short puck out strategy from Cork. Clare are allowing those full back line to get the ball. Out comes Andrew Fahey, tries to get by Cadigan. Doesn't start brother Harnedy it was, and didn't succeed, but Clare get the ball out eventually. David McInerney to Shane O'Morey, but the ball is going to carry too much pace out over the sideline ball.
Especially on the line ball. They know that how long Mark Coleman can cut these balls, so he's sitting very deep.
Mark Coleman, better sideline cut the second time. Oh, great hands by Patrick Horgan, trying to lay it back for Seamus Harnedy. Still Horgan, David McInerney chasing after him. Horgan takes the effort, and that is a superb effort. Brilliant point by Patrick Horgan.
You can see Colin Galvin there, he wasn't sitting deep enough. The line ball was just that too far, and when a player on form again like Horgan gets that kind of room, he's going to score.
He really had to work so hard for it, but he did brilliantly. Podge Collins trying to knock it away, taking a bit too much out of the slither. Hit a fair shoulder by Bill Cooper. No fancy stuff allowed in Semple Stadium on Munster hurling final day, which is fair enough. Bill Cooper's in there, so too is Luke Meade. Trying to gather it up is John Conlon. This ball is still bobbling around the place. Clare have the slither eventually. Good work here by John Conlon, trying to skip away from the challenges. Hits it to the slither and it's curling, but it's gone to the right and wide. That is Clare's third wide. Conor Cleary drops it into the Clare half of the field, Cork half of the field I should say. Running onto it is Shane O'Donnell. Calling for it is Carl Malone. Malone has a chance and he kicks it. Ball comes back off. It's Podge Collins turning, and that is over the bar. Good score by Podge Collins. Great shot by Carl Malone. And once again the sides are level in Semple Stadium, this time for the third occasion.
Anything good is happening for Clare at the moment. Cathal Malone's at the heart of it, just off the outside of the post, but good composure there then by Podge just to get it over the bar. You can see here now Anthony Nash is delaying on the puck out. The options are closed down 80 yards from him.
Ball comes straight out for as Luke Meade sends it into the space. Chasing after it here is Alan Cadigan. Alan Cadigan, oh, he turned Oisin O'Brien. Cadigan, great scale, great stick work, and he hit it into the back of the net. Goal for Cork. Brilliant, brilliant play by Alan Cadigan. He left the Clare defence for dead.
He did, but it all started composure up the other end. But Cadigan, little bounce to give himself that chance, hopped it in past Andrew Fahy in the goal. Just he got in as close as he could, it bounced across him, but it all came from an Anthony Nash puck out. He was patient enough to pick out his willing runner, got it inside, and Cadigan, of course, when he gets in like that, he just slips it past the goalkeeper.
Gerald takes the sideline cut. Battling hard for this Tony Kelly, trying to scoop it up, skips away from the challenge. Leaves Dara Fitzgibbon chasing a shadow as Fitzgibbon recovers and tries to hook him, but Kelly is beginning to show signs that Tony Kelly has regained the form. That is a superb point.
It is, yeah, you know, swinging off his left there, you know, he didn't have an awful lot of room to hit it, and it was an important shot having, you know, skipped the one out over him in touch in the game and keeps his rhythm going.
Captain of the under-21 team that won the All-Ireland in 2014, Tony Kelly, has already scored 2 points. This is very high, and the umpire is happy enough to raise the white flag for the third time. Clare have responded to that smashing goal by Alan Cadigan. Anthony Nash has 3 options in terms of his full backline. They're all available, but he goes long. He possibly should have gone short as John Conlon easily latched onto this. Ball is back into space, but there's nobody in there. Anthony Nash gathers and gives it plenty of air, whacks it up. Coming across is Seamus Harnedy. David Fitzgerald knocks it back, fires Patrick O'Connor. Gives it into the middle. Calling for it was Colm Galvin. Galvin just inside his own 45-metre line. Diagonal ball in for Conor McGrath. Can't control it. Hops over the sideline and passes it over towards his captain, Patrick O'Connor. He used a hand pass to get for his midfield. As the ball is dropping in, Aaron Shanahan is underneath. Oh, great catch. Aaron Shanahan lays up, tries to lay it off. Great block down by the Cork defence. Still Aaron Shanahan. He looks for somebody outside. Can't control it on the stick. In comes that man, Shane O'Donnell, latching on. He's inside the rectangle. The referee has blown his whistle and he's given a penalty. He gets one sniff of a slither inside the large rectangle and he causes all sorts of problems.
He does, he's a different kind of an animal in there. When he gets it, Aaron Shannon was going sideways, you can see him taking off him, but watch O'Donnell when he gets it. He sees not knowing that black spot, I'm heading straight for it, stop me if you like. Cork defence pulled him back. Now Tony Kelly, we saw him against Limerick, last one wide. Anthony Nash is in fantastic form, Marty, so you can see there Shane O'Donnell again, they'd no choice but to pull him back. Here we go.
A crucial moment. 19 minutes and 13 seconds. Tony Kelly against Anthony Nash. And it's driven over the bar, well over the bar.
Yeah, it's a chance slipped by there, you know. Nash, in fairness, made a decision like a soccer goal. He was going to pick a side. And Tony Kelly hands on head again, you know. Confidence isn't quite there yet, but, you know, at least Cork have gotten a point out of it.
Just to take the paint off the crossbars, we look at the replay. Meanwhile, we come back into the action. Oisin O'Brien slips. Seamus Harnedy is available. Gives it back inside. Coming through the middle is Dara Fitzgibbon. Clare, Patrick O'Connor hit an almighty shoulder. And Patrick Horgan, who's a very clean player. Clare players don't like it, but he hits a fair bang on Patrick O'Connor. He lost his helmet here. Just watch it here. Oh, there was an elbow flying as well. Just watch it here.
Yeah, he was trying to line him up, thinking that he was going to come up, but as O'Connor was trying to get a bit of speed up, you stay low, and Patrick Horgan, you know, just came in there. Very, very rash challenge on him. I think Fergal Horgan, knowing him as a referee, will probably take out a yellow card here. But Patrick Horgan will be lucky enough. There isn't anything in Patrick Horgan to say that he's a kind of player who's going to try to take somebody out, but in that example, he was committed to try to get in on the tackle.
Let's go down to the sideline for a sideline view from Donald O'Grady.
Yeah, well, Martin, just looking at Cork, the way they're playing, I said, you know, when they're playing with the breeze, the temptation is to go long. And in the previous games, they were able to move the ball from the defence into midfield.
Boarded. It has been a while.
It has been actually 10 minutes. Cork haven't scored since the 11th minute. They're coming here now with Conor Lahan. He's dropping this in. The umpire has no doubt. Excellent score by the Middleton man, Conor Lahan.
Right on cue with two Clare players chasing him down, put it right between the posts. Conor Lahan will be happy enough. He's been crowded out really in that centre forward position so far today.
Ball is pucked out, but it comes straight for Seamus Harnedy. But
Cork have.
Patrick Horgan comes for his Dara Fitzgibbon, and Fitzgibbon puts it over the bar. This is a really good hurler. He's actually not the first Charleville player to play for Cork. Mick O'Toole in the 40s, Dan O'Mahony in the 50s, and Mick Martell in the 60s, so there's a great tradition.
There is, and sometimes you can't plan for quick thinking like that. A great pass from and ask Clare a question. What are you going to do now?
Patrick Horgan taking the free. Seemed to miscue this completely. I think there was a whistle, would you believe, in the crowd, and I think a good hurler, young fella from Charleville in North Cork.
And before he came onto our
Camille Tanchi Nash, but meanwhile just seems to be a conversation more than anything else as Patrick Horgan takes the free and taps that one over the bar for his second point. Gibbon, he's the name that's coming. He's only 19, first year art student at University College Cork. Ball breaks down as Cork have it once again. It's that man Alan Cadigan swinging it in and swinging it over the bar. Brilliant play by the Douglas man. He is on fire, and Clare, if they're going to remain in this Munster final, need to make a change in that position.
They do, and it's good cuteness too from Anthony Nash. He knew the Clare team had pushed up the field on the last attack, got the ball in his hand quickly. The very minute Fergal Horgan blew the whistle, he had it down in front of his full forward line. You see what happened.
Puck out from Andrew Fahy. Cork stretched their lead to 5, and worthy of that margin, I can assure you. Free this time is to Clare.
Bill Cooper remonstrating there a bit, but Bill goes in. It was just a frontal, I suppose, on Tony Kelly. Normally, in fairness to Bill Cooper, as we saw with Kevin Moore and earlier on in the game with Podge, he can square you up nicely, but Clare are making a change.
Jason McCarthy is going to be introduced from Ina Killamone. He's a very good hurler, getting instructions from Donald Maloney. Don't be surprised if this change is in the Clare defence. Jason normally plays midfield, half back line. Very versatile player. As we look at Tony Kelly, going to take this free. Driving it in and driving it over the bar. Good point.
Yeah, very good point under pressure, especially when he hasn't been that accurate from play.
And the change is being made. Oisin O'Brien is off, and going on is Jason McCarthy. Interesting to see that Shayna Morey is gone on Alan Cadigan. Tactical switch which had to come around, and Shayna's going to be tested immediately with this high ball. It's gone out over the end line, and it's gone for a 65 according to the umpire. Clare players are protesting, but the referee is having none of it.
Yeah, Andrew Fahy's remonstrating, see, will stop the supply going in, but it was always going to be dangerous every time again, and especially someone like Cadigan. But yeah, it had taken that little bit longer, and they've paid the penalty for it, really, Clare.
Driving it in low. Seemed to miscue his shot again, Patrick Horgan. Colin Galvin on his own 45-metre line. John Conlon just about getting away with that. He's under pressure from Christopher Joyce. Still John Conlon trying to get away from Christopher. Hits it from a fair shoulder and then hits this ball across. And is it sneaking in? No, it's not. Ball is wide. Clare's tally of... That needs to be caught out again. Here comes John Conlon. Got away from the pressure and hits a beauty. When leadership is required, the team are not performing that well. He's got it.
Yeah, a big strong man, John Conlon there, and steadied himself.
Puck out comes straight to Bill Cooper. Lays it off quickly. Darragh Fitzgibbon, referee, spotted an infringement. David Fitzgerald is protesting passionately. The referee is having none of it.
Again, it's that man, Darragh Fitzgibbon. When he takes the ball, it's a great lesson against watching it. He always takes the ball at pace, driving at the heart of the defence. You know, great bravery. Again, just before he made contact with the Clare half back line, just a loose flick of the hurley, and another big opportunity for Patrick Horgan.
Finding the rhythm, finding the style. Cork playing with wind advantage. Clare won the toss, decided to play against it. Horgan drives it straight between the posts for his 4th point of the game. Cork motoring well in Semple Stadium. And the referee, Fergal Horgan from Tipperary, blows the half-time whistle. Alan Cadigan has been outstanding with a goal and 2 points. Eventually Clare made the move to take off Oisin O'Brien and put on Jason McCarthy and move Shane O'Morey. That might stop the threat of Alan Cadigan. But Cork, by far and away the better team in the first half.
They are, and they've used the ball quite well, and in periods of dominance they put it on the scoreboard where Clare haven't. But we also have to say, Marty, there's a strong enough breeze down this field, and Clare have it in the second half.
We're looking forward to the second half. At half-time, it is Clare 8 points. Cork
8 points. The attendance here today, by the way, 45,558. Henry Shefflin, Cork have the advantage, but Cyril Farrell was saying just a moment ago, is 5 points enough?
Yeah, no, there is a bit of a breeze. It's hard for your viewers to say it at home, but I think Cork will like playing against it. I think from the outside, Clare handed the initiative from Cork. You know, the lads spoke in the commentary a lot about the puck outs, but what they were doing is they were so afraid of Conor Lehan winning the puck outs like we've shown previously. They dropped back to 2 half forwards, completely back into the half back line. That leaves 4 forwards against 6 defenders. So straight away, anytime Cork had Nash had the ball in his hand, they were in control of what is done. And that's the hand of the initiative straight away to Cork. And as well as that, the Cork full forward line have all scored. None of the Clare full forward line have scored. And obviously Alan Cadigan's 1-2 has been the difference. Yeah. It hasn't been a great game, Michael. It's been a little bit tactical, but Cork have been the better team and probably deserve to be another couple of points. I'd say Clare at half-time will be happy enough to be only 5 points down. Not
Surprisingly, I suppose, Liam, it's very tense out there. You can see it opening up, I guess, in the second half a bit.
No, I think you're right. That's the word I'd use. It's too tense, really. They haven't really let it flow. You know, I mean, I'd expect in a Munster final you go out and throw off the shackles and have a go, and it hasn't really happened. And I think the reason why Cork are on top is that the quality of ball that Alan Cadigan is getting and Seamus Harnedy is getting is put right in front of you. Like, there's only one ball that you could say where because Clare are playing out so far, there's no quality ball going in, and that's the one thing we said before the match. They've got to get quality ball into their inside forward line. The one time Shane O'Donnell got on the ball, he got a penalty. But like, they really have to change that. They really have to think about how they're going to approach the second half, because unless they can come up the field and get quality ball in where it's one-on-one situation in the inside forward line, they're going to struggle to break them down.
Yeah, so
yeah, you'll probably find that Michael will come into it because they're playing Colin Galvin very, very deep. Now you'll find, as Liam is saying there, he'll shoot forward with the second half. He is capable of popping from outside. Cork, there's a nice little breeze coming in here on top of it, you know, in the town in here. They'll try to score from outside. They'll have to go they'll have to attack the game more, because Cork, to be fair, are trying to attack them the whole time, going ahead and taking lovely scores, popping off ball. 5 points isn't surmountable, but it's nice to be 5 points up than 5 points behind. But I'd expect Clare to shove on up a bit and maybe start scoring from outside, because like Tony Kelly is midfield along Malone, Colin Galvin's lying back. I expect him to shove out a bit more, and you'll find that they'll be getting long range points. This game isn't over by any means, but it hasn't really taken off, Michael. No. Like, it's just kind of waiting for something to explode.
Mind you, it did take off in that first half, Henry. We're down, as Cyril said, at the town end, which is the Cork end of the Cork supporters, and they jumped 10 feet in the air when Cork got that goal. Yeah, no, it was a big score, and the game probably needed at that stage. But here we are, puck outs again. Nash, Luke Meade, watch this. He picks up. He doesn't drive the ball. He lobs it gently in front of Alan Cadigan. The ball bounces to take the heat off it. Alan Cadigan skins his man. This is the kind of ball. Now, I think Andrew Fahy should have probably saved it, but it was brilliant. But it was a great turn. Alan Cadigan is really on form. Oisin O'Brien has obviously been taken off. But it was the ball in front of him, right in front of his chest. So all he's to do is put out his hand and turn. He knows what he's going to do onto his left-hand side, bottom corner. And just to showcase, this is what Clare are sitting off, as I said. Stephen McDonald, long ball. In front again is Seamus Harnedy. Out in front. It's easy when you're coming out attacking that ball
Clare are not getting that quality ball, as Liam has said. That's what Cork are looking to do, and so far, that's why they're a few points ahead.
They are the few points ahead. We're going to take another break here on the Sunday game, but do stay with us, because very shortly we're going to be giving you another chance to win yourself a trip to Miami.
Two chances of goals. One obviously came
Yes,
back earlier on. But watching this, you know, again, one of the few times they got the ball in, Aaron Shanahan really strong in the air, won the ball. You know, as Henry spoke about it before the match, like the Cork, they are playing, when the ball is in there, there's a crowd around him. But look at Shane O'Donnell, a wonderful pickup. You know, he was dragged back, and you know, to me, it absolutely was a penalty. Right decision by Fergal Horgan. You see the arm going out there, falls to the ground. But again, he was going to. Tony Kelly steps up again, ball goes over the bar. I guess, you know, when we look at the last 3 penalties that Tony has taken, he took one in the league against Cork, Anthony Nash saved it. He took one the last day against Limerick, it went wide, and he took one today and he's got a point. That's a 1 point return from 3 penalties. At this level, Michael, those shots need to be hitting the back of the net all day, every day. You know, TJ Reid and the top men, they hit the net every time, and that Clare needed a goal at that stage in that first half.
Surely. Listen, Patrick Horgan got some very good scores in that first half, good frees and so on. He also got a yellow card. I wonder what you guys thought about this, because it looked, I suppose, in fairness, it looked a bit dramatic, if you like.
Yeah, well, you see, it was a ball snow. Patrick Connor's head down. Now, I'd say he was lining up for a good rackle. He's not a dirty player, but it was a yellow card. Like, watch, look, he comes out his head down, lines up, and he's probably lucky enough, but like, it is definitely yellow. If it was in football, you'd probably get a black card, but that's not in hurling. But like, he got the yellow for the free out. I would think there's no maliciousness in it, like, but he was just lining up. Patrick Connor is coming up the ground, and it's a miracle.
I think when you see it like that, you'd have to say he was lucky to stay in the field, and it's a sign of the game. We don't see Patrick Horgan doing that much, because I think it's brought that element of physicality to his game this year. But he went with the elbow up high. The helmet came off the man's head. Yeah. He's very lucky to be still on the field, you know.
Sure. I mean, as we always say in this programme, it doesn't really matter whether he's that kind of player or he's not that kind of player. If it happened, it happened, and that's the end of it. We have a Cork man down on the sideline. Donald O'Grady, how are you? I'm just wondering what you're thinking of the game so far.
Well, Michael, I'm sitting here where where Clare were attacking in the first half, and they had 7 wides, all from outside. And as Liam Sheedy said earlier, I was surprised when John Connon broke past the half back line, and again with Cathal Malone as well, that they didn't feed the ball directly, an angle ball into Shane O'Donnell and Conor McGrath. They failed completely to supply their inside line. And I think for the second half, you know, Colm Galvin sat way back near the centre-back. I think his value to the team is racing forward, picking off the points, and I think if Tony Kelly himself and Podge Collins don't get the chances to run at the Cork defence, I think Cork will win this game. But that's the only chance for Clare now, I think, to drive at Cork right down the middle. Cork got a bit of a good tempo going 10 minutes before half-time. They moved the ball through midfield the way they wanted to play, a short ball. So that's what I'm looking for. I think Clare will have the first 5 minutes really go at Cork.
All right, Donald, thank you very much. Indeed, Cork are back out on the field at the moment, waiting for Clare. Just briefly, Henry, can Clare turn this around?
Well, I think Donald mentioned Tony Kelly needs to get into the game. Podge Collins, Conor McGrath, we haven't seen him. You know, like the standout player in the first half has probably been Darragh Fitzgibbon, 19 years of age, and he's bossing midfield. So I think Clare, I think they just need to throw off the shackles.
Yeah, they have to
and just go at it. This is what we're saying about hurling. It's an instinctive game. Just throw it and go, because they have the players. And I think they've been restricting themselves. So if they do that, they have a chance. But it's looking like Cork at the moment.
Liam, they're having a good chat, obviously, in the dressing room.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't play. Like, I mean, if those players were to come off the field now, if this was the end of the game, like, they'd have completely underachieved in a Munster final. You know, in a great sporting day like this, you want to go out and you want to at least put your best foot forward. To me, they haven't really matched up. They haven't got quality ball in. They have a lot of soul searching to do with this half-time. I expect when they come out that they're ready to go and say, right, let's push forward, let's get quality ball into the inside forward line, and if we're going to lose, let's at least lose admirably.
Yeah, but you could see it.
I think there was a genuine surprise. It didn't make the starting 15. Meanwhile, it's Clare, and it is Shane O'Donnell. Calling for it is Conor McGrath. McGrath drives it in low, and Anthony Nash had to be alert. Comes back outside for his Aaron Shanahan. Floating it in. He made an angle for himself, and it's good enough. It has quality, and it's over the bar.
Yeah, it was a good save there as well by Anthony Nash, but Aaron Shanahan there has been threatening to come in on the game. Conor McGrath just hooked there slightly, and they're always the dangerous ones, the goalkeeper, the miss hit.
David Fitzgerald, Clare starting the second half, setting out their stall early, meaning business. This one is dropping in rather easily to Anthony Nash, who drive it down into the Clare half of the field. Ball breaks away. Here comes Carl Malone under a bit of pressure. Keeps it down the wing. Coming out is Shane O'Donnell. More importantly, Stephen MacDonald knocks it down, and Cork regained the possession. Trying to burst forward is Bill Cooper. He gives it to his midfield partner, Dara Fitzgibbon. He scored a good point in the first half, and Andrew Fahey is happy to see that go out over the line.
It's over earlier on in the first half, but he's there willing to take on his man.
Hits that perfectly between the posts. Scored 4 in the first half. This is his first and the second. And still 5 points between the teams. Remember, Clare now playing with a slight summer breeze in this second half. Andrew Fahey drives it down into the Cork half of the field. Aaron Shannon gets a little touch. Running onto it is that man. O'Donnell knocked away on this occasion. Still danger for Cork. Conor McGrath, just outside the 20-metre line, floats it in, but floats it across the face of the goal. Very few available. They're all congregating down this corner. Ball breaks again. Good work by Colin Spillane. Knocks it into the middle. Bill Cooper in this second half has got on so much ball. Distribution is not great on this occasion as David McInerney powerfully goes forward. First to the ball and hits it straight between the posts. Great play by David McInerney.
Seamus Hardy in the background, his hands out. He wanted the ball over the top, but if that's not a rallying cry for Clare now, nothing is. You hear the crowd starting to get going again. Fantastic score from McInerney.
Again, the short ball to the corner back from Anthony Nash to Colin Spillane. Patrick Horgan is looking sharp. Gives it for Shane Kingston. Yet to score. And that statistic has just changed. Son of the manager, Kieran, Douglas clubman, good play.
Yeah, guess what? Angle ball in and a pop pass in Kingston is a great score considering he hasn't really felt the weight of the ball that often in this game, but that's super score.
Puck out comes down for us. O'Donnell trying to get away, skipping away. It's Shane, and Shane is fouled, and that's going to be a free in for Clare, just inside. Going for his 6th. Looking good from our perch here, and that's over the bar.
The next question, of course, Marty, is at some stage in this journey for Clare, they're going to have to get a goal. And I don't see where one's going to come from now at the moment.
And here it is again. There's Damien Cahalane. Shane O'Donnell, no matter how good he is not going to be able to mark 3 corner backs. Here comes Shane Kingston. Scored a point a moment ago. The 19-year-old is getting inside. About to pull the trigger, leaves it across. Here comes Shane O'Morey. Alan Callaghan was there as well. The referee has blown it. Patrick Horgan driving this over the bar. Easy for him. Then Rovers, of course, going for their 3rd county championship in a row in Cork. And himself and the Cork captain, Stephen MacDonald, will be to the forefront for that challenge for that great club on the north side of Cork City. Puck out from Andrew Fahey, comes straight for his Tony Kelly. And again, it's tailing to the right and wide.
The process was good. Tony Kelly ran into a pocket of space, found lovely by Andrew Fahey.
David Fitzgerald underneath it. Lays it off for his Colin Galvin. And from the middle of the field, he's going for it, and it is straight and through. Good score. Fine point by Colin Galvin.
Yeah, Colin Galvin made a good decision there by having a go, because there's only one Clare forward inside. You see it going over the bar, you see him inside, but good score again, and Cork are off on the short one.
Really amazed, Brendan, that Clare haven't pushed forward on the Cork puck outs. I don't see the logic of it at all.
Well, I think Anthony Nash at this stage, without labouring the point, and Conor Lehane have gotten inside the Clare management heads. They've seen the way that axis has worked in the previous 2 games, decided to shut it down. But Cork are just so good, and their game management is so good, that they're just kidding Clare another way, which is putting it over the top into the full forward line.
Sideline ball going to be taken by Colin Galvin. Donald Cusick again having a quick chat with Donald Maloney, just there you saw a moment ago. Conor Lehane driving this in. Shane O'Morey doing a lot better in this second half, and since he's been moved onto Alan Cadigan. Carl Malone gives it for his Colin Galvin. Galvin going for his 2nd point of the match. This one is dropping. Anthony Nash underneath it. Never.
The Clare full forward line, unfortunately, have been starved.
Patrick Horgan He'll take these for fun all afternoon. Sends that one over the bar for his 7th of the afternoon in this Munster final. Made and created by Conor Lahan, who judgment was perfection. He was leaping to the air above it.